We find ourselves living in two entirely different worlds at once. One is built of soil, stone, and flesh. The other, well, it's made entirely of light, glass, and code. For decades, we were sold a rather magnificent story about this second world, a grand promise that the digital realm would foster unprecedented human connection, democratize creativity, and act as this infinite, boundless repository of human knowledge. Yet, as we navigate this landscape today, one cannot help but feel a subtle, creeping sense of isolation. A profound artificiality has begun to take root in the spaces we once thought of as our own. Today, we are going to examine this illusion of connection.
Consider this question for a moment. What if the internet you use every single day is no longer built primarily for humans? It's quite a chilling thought, isn't it? We assume, quite naturally, that because we are staring into the screen exists for us. But beneath the surface of our daily digital interactions, a quiet mechanical revolution has taken place. One that has fundamentally altered the very architecture of our modern digital spaces.
Section 1. The Digital Paradox. To truly grasp this shift, we must first appreciate the staggering scale of humanity's digital expansion. We have woven the internet so deeply into the fabric of our existence that it is no longer merely a tool. It's a habitat. Over 70% of the global population now owns a smartphone. That means roughly 5 billion individuals are holding a portal to the world in their pockets, navigating a sprawling network of over 1 billion websites. We are no longer mere visitors to the digital realm. We are its permanent residents.
6.5 hours. That is the amount of time the average person currently spends online every single day. We must recognize that the condition of the internet is no longer some peripheral concern. It is absolutely central to the human experience. If the internet is unwell, so too perhaps is society.
Section 2. The Evolution of Spam. Now, any vast network is bound to attract a few parasites. The most pervasive of these is a concept whose evolution is actually quite fascinating. Long before the internet, the word spam simply referred to heavily processed tinned meat. It was low in nutritional value and mass-produced. Then, in the 1980s, the term was adopted by users of early online chat rooms and message boards to describe repetitive, unwanted text that constantly flooded their screens. Today, however, it is mutated into something else entirely, an inescapable cultural phenomenon, a type of algorithmic media that surrounds us constantly.
Which brings us to a crucial, updated definition. Spam-like media isn't just an unwanted email offering dodgy pharmaceuticals anymore. It's digital content that unreasonably exploits platform algorithms, automation, or excessive posting for the sole purpose of generating empty views and engagement. It's clickbait, it's engagement farming, it's the endless, mindless scroll of low-value noise. We have to confront a rather grim reality here. The modern internet doesn't just contain spam. Increasingly, the internet is spam, driven by our own growing appetite for quicker, heavily processed digital content that requires absolutely no intellectual digestion.
Section 3. The Dead Internet. This relentless commodification of our attention leads us into the shadows of what some have termed the dead internet. Back in 2021, an anonymous thread appeared on a rather obscure message board known as the Agora Rhodes Macintosh Forum. It articulated a philosophical premise that sounded remarkably like the plot of a dystopian novel. It suggested that the internet, as an authentic human space, essentially died sometime around 2016.
The core claims of this dead internet theory are as fascinating as they are disturbing. It asserts that most online activity is now fundamentally fake. It claims that bot-generated traffic utterly dominates the network and that genuine, human-generated content is rapidly eroding. It's being replaced by synthetic content that is in turn curated by algorithms. It presents a vision of an empty city where the traffic consists entirely of self-driving cars ferrying mannequins back and forth.
Now, it's incredibly easy to write this off as just another conspiracy theory, but empirical data suggests the theory's grim premise is not entirely ungrounded. Nearly half, 49.6%, of all internet traffic is now comprised of bots. The digital crowd you feel pressing against you online is, quite literally, half machine. And to further clarify this bizarre landscape, consider that only 17.6% of this automated traffic is classified as good bots, things like search engine crawlers and helpful diagnostic tools. The rest constitutes a vast, dark ocean of automated fakeness, dominating the network, impersonating humans, and actively skewing the reality we perceive through our screens.
Section 4. The AI Acceleration.
How exactly did we arrive at this juncture? Well, it really comes down to a tragic divergence of purpose. The original human intent of the web was quite beautiful, actually. Connection, honest communication, and the sharing of art. But the machine incentive is fundamentally different. It's designed purely to monetize human attention through algorithmic ranking and advertising. We are no longer creating for each other. We are performing for the machine.
And the introduction of mainstream generative AI has radically accelerated this disconnect. We are now witnessing AI churn out vast quantities of digital art and video. We see AI managing digital profiles, perfectly mimicking human behavior. We see it executing economic research and decisions. Most surreal of all, we are entering a phase where AI models are actively managing other AI models. Humans are becoming inherently less involved. In this deeply mechanical sense, the old human internet truly is fading away.
Section 5. The human cost. But let's step away from the cold mechanics of technology for a moment and look back at ourselves. Consider the tragedy of the human creator, trapped in an endless algorithmic loop. To maintain social relevancy and just forge a career, creators are forced to alter their content to satisfy the algorithm's insatiable demands. This leads inevitably to blatant copying, redundancy, and a profound dumbing down of media. Authenticity is sacrificed at the altar of excessive, careless posting. The human mind is essentially reduced to an engagement factory.
You know the old adage that we are the average of the 5 people we spend the most time with? Let us present a profoundly updated proverb for the modern age. We are the average of the 5 creators we consume. If our digital diet consists entirely of unhealthy, unhuman, spam-like content designed by algorithms, what on earth does that make us? It is a genuine, existential risk to our collective intellect and our emotional well-being.
Section 6. A Human Future.
Faced with this overwhelming technological tide, your first instinct is probably to look to the authorities, to call for intervention. And while reasonable policies and regulations around AI are undeniably necessary, history offers a bit of a cautionary tale here. Regulation alone is blind to the future. Technologies designed to catch bad actors are almost always one step behind the innovations of those very actors. We simply cannot legislate our way out of a cultural crisis.
No. The real solution has to be rooted in reaffirming what humanity truly desires at its core. Beneath all the noise and the algorithms, we crave unbridged connection. We desire honest, unfiltered communication. We seek genuineness in a sea of synthetic imitation. We want a symbiotic, prosperous relationship with both our physical and digital worlds, not a parasitic one where our attention is continuously harvested for profit.
Which brings us to perhaps the most vital realization of all. The future of the internet is not a technological question alone. It is a deeply human one.
Ultimately, these machines only have the power that we surrender to them. The dead internet theory serves as a dire warning, certainly, but it is not an inescapable prophecy. We possess the agency to demand authenticity and to prioritize actual, meaningful connection over empty algorithmic engagement. The answer will depend entirely on what we choose to create, consume, and value. So ask yourself, what kind of reality are you choosing to log into tomorrow?